What's going on, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, then I'm Bowden the Great, and I love everything relating to cozy games, from gameplays to reviews to even tutorials. I've got you covered. When I heard that there was going to be a Lord of the Rings cozy game, I almost fell out of my chair because I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. That was until I saw the trailer for Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game, and yes, that is the official title of the game. Quite the mouthful. But we'll abbreviate it down to something simple like TOTSALOTRG, which we'll then simplify and just call it TOTS. Now, starting off the TOTS trailer, within the first 10 seconds, we are greeted by a Hobbit with an extremely funky looking walk that just doesn't really look good. You'd think that after the absolute disaster of Gollum, that the next game in the franchise would look much better, but believe it or not, nope. It's obviously different developers and was likely being worked on before Gollum was launched, but still. Early into the trailer, you can likely tell that the art style is, and to be bluntly honest, boring and uninspired. Like many other mediocre cozy games, it leans heavily into poor graphics and wonky animations. Graphics to me are certainly not a deal breaker. Take Valheim for example. While the graphics are reminiscent of being 10 years old, firing up my PlayStation to play some Metal Gear Solid for the first time, the gameplay itself is just truly captivating and engaging. Valheim became one of those games I could not put down. The art style though of TOTS reminds me a bit of Fae Farms, which while I love cozy games, I just found Fae Farms also bland and arguably soulless, kind of like when you try to use your grandmother's recipe for her homemade meatloaf to cook for yourself, but something about it just never tastes as good as the real deal, straight from the grandma's source. I digress. I'm guessing that they built the game to run on the weakest console, the Nintendo Switch, and then ported it to the other consoles and PC, which would explain everything I mentioned before. Now, I could go scene by scene through the trailer and pick it apart for the poor graphics, objects clipping like in the skipping through Bywater scene, but I won't. Mostly because it'll make the video probably over 30 minutes long, which we certainly do not want that. Now, a quick side note before we dig a little bit deeper into the game. This is actually the game developer Weta, which I might be mispronouncing, Workshop's first game. The amount of media that this workshop has actually worked on is insane. From the original Lord of the Rings trilogy to even the most recent Dune Part 2, which I still haven't seen yet, I know, shame on me. What exactly do I mean by worked on? Well, roughly everything from design to manufacturing of the costumes, animatronics, weapons, the list goes on and on. I highly recommend checking out their website, which I'll link below, because there's a lot of cool stuff there. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled trailer breakdown of TOTS. Now, I've watched the trailer probably over a dozen times at this point to spot any Easter eggs, or realistically to watch gameplay on what we'll be able to fill our time with at this point while in the Shire. Now, per the game descriptions, we'll be able to decorate, garden, fish, forage, trade with townsfolk, make food, and befriend fellow hobbits. The trailer sort of shows all of those things, but I'm hoping that some of what we're shown is just a placeholder, specifically fishing and cooking. The fishing looks extremely generic and honestly just really bad graphically. The water splashing isn't even on the surface of the water. The black shadow is like 5 times larger than the actual fish caught, and the fish doesn't even come out of the water and is instead instantly teleported into your hands. Now, I'm not expecting Bass Pro Shop's fishing sim world level of accuracy, but at least the same level as Animal Crossing. Cooking is equally bad as the food doesn't interact with you cutting or flipping your pan. The mushrooms just clip through your meat cleaver. The decorating honestly though looks relatively promising though, along with the gardening, which I'm probably most excited for from what I've seen thus far. Now, a big item that will make or break this one is how do we help the town flourish? The game description notes that Bywater is not an official village in Hobbiton, so we have to help it achieve village status. The trailer realistically leaves that question unanswered. Towards the end of the trailer, we get what appears to be a little cameo from a certain wizard looking graphically worse than in the Fellowship of the Ring game back from over 20 years ago.
Give me the ring.
The landscape itself looks fine, I guess, nothing really truly special. Now, I know that I keep harping about it, but at this point, if you were to tell me that this game could run on the Nintendo DS, I'd believe you. Now, to sort of wrap things up, I'm going to ask you a question. When you think of the Shire, what do you think of? Now, I can't speak for you, but if I had to guess, most of us would likely say how beautiful the landscape is and how much that I would personally love to live there. And unfortunately, the art style just doesn't do Hobbit injustice, so unless the gameplay is going to be super unique and gripping, which it doesn't appear this way, this game appears to be mediocre at best. Now, don't let me detract from the game if you think it looks amazing. Everyone is certainly entitled to their own opinion, and at the end of the day, I'm rooting for the game regardless. And honestly, I'll probably still play it anyways, just so I can form my own opinion. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video despite its more negative tone. I'm just very passionate about not only Lord of the Rings, but also about cozy games. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree about anything I've said, and please do not forget to like and subscribe because I'll have more news and just fun cozy games for you in the near future. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.